What's going on, guys? Luke22SV here, and welcome back to the 5th round of Season 3 for the Career Mode today, here for the Spanish Grand Prix, off the back of a 5th place result in Azerbaijan, which left us second in the driver standings, behind our teammate Max Verstappen, who won last time out. McLaren closed in as well, with some upgrades this weekend as well, so they're looking very strong, but difficult times for McLaren at the moment. Lando Norris and Devon Butler both dropped points where they perhaps should have done better here and there, so probably the driver standings isn't exactly representative of how it should be at the moment. Alpha dropping points, Mercedes dropping points as well, so it's all to play for really at the first at the moment, heading into the first European race of the season. Could be any one of these top 5 teams really, but moving on to the start of FP1, we're doing our track acclimatization practice program just to see where we can go, and here's our first incident of the weekend, coming towards the end of the lap, sector 3, getting onto the curb and spinning into the wall, which will pretty much put an end to that lap and put an end to the track acclimatization. But moving on the same session, FP1 again, we're on our fuel program now, so trying to save fuel here and there, but again coming through sector 3, get onto that curb, and that really set us off balance, it oversteered. Then we got onto the grass and spun, and into the wall we went, and that pretty much put an end to that as well. So yeah, on the back foot at the moment in this race, and heading into qualifying with a few incidents already happened in practice. So yeah, here we go. First, hoping to do well in this race after a few decent results throughout the last few races, but at the moment we've had a difficult start to the weekend with those 2 incidents in practice. Hoping to put those behind us now, but yeah, currently down in P20, which is yeah, not really good at all. Our teammate's P1, so we've had an awful time so far. Setting a purple sector 1 though, so we're good through sector 1, but can't really seem to get it together in the rest of the lap. And in fact, we're actually down on our previous lap time at the moment as we go through the next few corners, but getting back on it now. So now we're up on our previous time again. So for whatever reason, we just got it all wrong on our first lap. Now on our second lap, we need to try and get up the order. We should be around where our teammate is, but qualifying really has been our Achilles heel so far this season. But hopefully we can get it together in this, from now on really, but because it could really cost us a lot of points in this driver's fight for a title. But yeah, here we go, round the last few corners to end this lap. Is it going to put us anywhere higher up on the order? It should do. Get a warning for exceeding track limits there, but we're going to cross the line though. Where's it going to put us? And it's only good enough for P9, so yeah, we're in the top 10, but it could be a lot better than that, to be honest. So yeah, P9 then for the race, whilst our teammates in pole position. So yeah, Butler are up in second, so making the most of those McLaren's upgrades. Norris in 5th, and yeah, Mercedes, Alphas and Ferraris pretty much taking up the rest of the top 10. Carlos Sainz doing well on his home Grand Prix, up there in 10th for the Renault as well. So yeah, that's pretty promising for Renault now. They're starting to get their act together in this career mode, and the Williams as well, having a better qualifying as well, with 12th and 13th. But now we head on into the race then. What can we do from 9th on the grid then today? Well, we've done quite well in gaining positions in the last few races. Didn't qualify so well in Azerbaijan, gained several places then. Did the same in China, gained several places, as Bahrain as well. Melbourne was perhaps a little bit different. We probably should have gained a few more places there, but yeah, now we have a look at the grid order then for round 5. Verstappen on pole, my teammate ahead of Butler. Leclerc doing well for Ferrari ahead of Hamilton, looking to regain his form this season. Norris ahead of Weber, who's always doing well. Bottas ahead of Vettel, myself ahead of Sainz, and Stroll missing out on the top 10 ahead of Kvyat, Russell, and then Gasly, Ricciardo, Albon. And then comes Magnussen, Perez, Giovinazzi a long way behind his teammate again, and Hulkenberg at the back. So Racing Point struggling this weekend as well. They don't seem to have the pace for whatever reason, like they did at the start of the season. But now here we go then, onto those 5 red lights to start this race for the Spanish Grand Prix. How can we do? Let's find out in the next 17 laps. But it's a fairly poor start already, as Carlos Sainz gets past us almost immediately, as does almost Lance Stroll. Danny Kvyat on the inside as well there, but we spot the gap on the outside. Vettel loses a chunk of front wing. That's not going to do him any good. We go around the outside of him and Bottas up towards the where Hamilton and Rosberg crashed a few years ago. Weber going very slowly. He's side by side with Norris. Now we're looking to make the move down the inside. Now we go to the outside, switch to the outside, trying to make the move on both Weber and Norris. Run a bit wide, almost onto the grass, but up into P6 then. So gaining 3 places off the start, then we force Weber out wide there, which has not helped him too much. But there you go, we've upped into P6 then. Weber fighting off Bottas now, it looks like. Now we're looking forward, you can see Leclerc fighting with Hamilton, and now Norris is our next target. So gained 3 places so far. Can we gain 1 more on this lap? We'll find out if we can get past Norris on this straight. You can see he's sizing up Charles Leclerc, but we're going to size up Norris ourselves and spot the gap on the outside. Very ambitious move from a long way back, but almost making it stick here. Norris fights back on the inside there, almost switches to the outside, but there you go. We've got the line. We're going to force him out wide. He's going to have to give up the position, and there we go. Up into P5 we go then, so we gain 4 places off the start. So we'll have to take a look at the replay then, getting some good positions off the start then, and definitely what we need to do to start this race off. But our teammate leads the way then on lap 1 in the lead of this race ahead of Devon Butler. So here's the replay then of the start. So you can see we had a fairly poor start compared to everyone else as per usual, but heading into turn 1 we're going to dive down several cars, and you can see Vettel losing a chunk of his front wing into turn 1 there. But then moving on through to the rest of Sector 1, where Grosjean, of course, lost it a couple of seasons ago. But now we can see a few cars there side by side, Hamilton and Leclerc. And you can see we swooped around the outside, managed to get past Weber, but almost putting ourselves onto the grass there. But yeah, there we go, forcing Weber out wide, which put Bottas through pretty much and allowed Bottas to get the move on Lucas Weber. But not really helping our former teammate out too much there. But then we tried to come up to Lando Norris, who was sizing up Leclerc and Hamilton as well. They're going side by side through this long right-hander. And there we go, we can see Hamilton defending from Leclerc and Norris as well. We swoop round the outside and spot the gap to make the move round the outside of Norris. Quite cheeky, but there we go, up into P5 then at the end of lap 1. A nice move on Lando Norris, and then forcing him, hanging him out to dry, so saying you're not going to come around there, mate. And yeah, there we go, taking hold of P5. And actually I think Bottas lost out a bit in the end to Weber. So moving on then, we are up into P5 at the end of lap 1. A very good start to this race. And now moving on to lap 3, you can see DRS now enabled. Trying to keep up with Leclerc. We've got Norris still behind us, so Leclerc goes side by side with Hamilton into turn 1. And yeah, you can see them going side by side, wheel to wheel. Can we catch up to them whilst they're battling? They're certainly slowing each other down at the moment, so hopefully if they can keep slowing each other down, we can close in on these two and hopefully get onto the podium here. So P3 looking very possible at this early stage of this race. We can't see how quickly the McLaren of Devon Butler's got away, and our teammate Max Verstappen a long way down the road as well. So pretty much the true pace of the Red Bull is in Verstappen's hands. We're just not that quick around this track compared to the AI, but having a better race though compared to qualifying, as we've already shown. We're up into P5, and now you see Leclerc and Hamilton fighting all over the place there, in wheel to wheel for about the last 6 corners. Again, side by side going into this one as well. Can Leclerc make the move on Hamilton? Hamilton locks up. We can now see the opportunity to get into P3, and well, now there's problems for my teammate. He's got a problem with his car, and Leclerc and Hamilton slowing each other down again. See, Lando Norris is closed in on us as well, so Lando Norris is right behind us now. So now we're going to have DRS coming round at the next corner and onto the main straight. Can we make a move on Leclerc or Hamilton? Going to have a DRS wide open. Leclerc's going to have it open too. Is he going to be able to make the move on Hamilton? He's going to be looking to the inside. Hamilton goes defensive. Leclerc goes to the outside. We go to the inside. Can we get past 2 in the space of 1 corner here? Yes, we can, just about. Diving past Hamilton, diving past Leclerc, and up into P3 we go. So fantastic move there to get past 2 drivers in 1 corner, and Leclerc up into P4 as well, ahead of Hamilton. So drama for that Mercedes again, not seeming to have the pace now. So when it did have the pace, it was fighting at the top, but had poor reliability. Now it hasn't got that much pace when it needs the reliability as well. So missed opportunities for the Mercedes. If they're going backwards in the development, they've lost out on a lot of points so far this season, and Hamilton going backwards there is definitely not what he wants. But Verstappen also going backwards now as Devon Butler leads the race then in this Spanish Grand Prix. So we're going to be looking to try and close in Max Verstappen, and P2 should be available for us, but potentially it should only really be P3 to be fair, because Verstappen had such much better pace than us this weekend, and for him to have a problem, which is good for us in terms of driver standings, but bad for the team in terms of constructor standings, but this could put us into the lead of the championship if, well, depending on other results as well. Of course, we don't know whether Norris or Leclerc will be able to get to the top in this race, but this is looking good for us in the driver standings. Sort of things when it looked so bad at the start of the race. We were down in P9 on the grid. Verstappen was on pole, but now you can see we're P2 and P3, and look how quickly we're closing in on Max Verstappen at the moment. He's got some real problem with his car, which is not helping him out at all, and we're closing in on Max Verstappen and should be able to make a move fairly soon, maybe at the start of next lap if we, well, and maybe even be at the next DRS zone. Look how quickly we're behind him now within a second, so we're going to have DRS, but Leclerc is closing in on us too. So Leclerc keeping us on this as well at this moment in time. I don't know why we aren't able to pull away from the Ferrari. The Ferrari sort of been picking up points where everyone else has been losing them here and there at the moment. The Ferrari sort of been quite lackluster in terms of just performance, but just managed to make a few mistakes, although Vettel losing his front wing into the turn 1 probably hasn't helped his chances in this race too much, so he's probably gone backwards in this race. But Leclerc picking up points where necessary, and he's up there quite high in the championship at the moment, is Leclerc, despite not really being too spectacular this season. But now we're right behind Max Verstappen, and surely we're going to be past him on the start-finish straight to start of lap 6, and hopefully we can get past him fairly quickly. We don't want to be held up by his team, the team are probably on the radio to him to tell him to let us go, and you can see we're already pretty much going to get past him. And yeah, he's got some real problem with his car. Little pace on his car. He's a long way off the pace compared to what he was at the start of this race. We are now into P2 though, and Leclerc is up into P3. So Verstappen going backwards. Leclerc has managed to get past him too. So we're going to have to watch out for Leclerc fairly soon. But pit stop window is next lap, so we're not too far away from pitting then and putting on those medium tyres. So hopefully we can be in a good place in the rest of this race, and hopefully maybe we can catch up to Devon Butler, who's leading this race at the moment. We move on to the end of lap 6 though now, and again make a little bit of a mistake there though, and now we've got Leclerc just right behind us, so Leclerc is going to be trying to make a move and retake P2 after we overtook him whilst he overtook Hamilton. So Leclerc's pace actually looking quite good in this race for that Ferrari. Don't know what Vettel would have been able to do in the same Ferrari, but Leclerc go down the inside then. Can we defend from Leclerc? Unfortunately, we run a bit wide, but managed to keep hold of the position. He sort of pulls out of that one, so he doesn't want to, well, he wants to avoid a collision. But now on lap 7, we're going to be pitting at the end of this lap then, and trying to see what the gap is to Devon Butler. He's 6 seconds ahead of us, so if we want to win this race, we really need to get the foot down and push towards getting towards Devon Butler. But at the moment Butler has this race in the bag. It'd be interesting to see if he would have been able to fight Verstappen if Verstappen didn't have any issues, but yeah, that's a question we'll never know the answer to in that respect. But Verstappen still going backwards down the order, unfortunately for him. But Leclerc is our main focus at the moment, who's trying to take P2 away from us, but hopefully we've seen many times in the past that we actually do better in the second half of the race when we get those medium tyres on, and allow us to actually, for whatever reason, we just have better pace on the medium tyres compared to the soft tyres at the start of the race. I don't know why that is, but it seems to be a little bit of a common occurrence. But here we go then, into the pits to put on the medium tyres. Hopefully we can stay ahead of Leclerc. We're going to try and get a decent as possible gap. There should be a few other cars coming into the pits as well at this lap, and our teammate is also into the pits, so yeah, I don't know why that is, but he's going to be held up as well, so that's going to cost him even more time. But we're going to have to not worry too much about that. But we're out of the pits and ahead of Leclerc still, so keeping hold of that P2 then. We move on to lap 9 now, so we've had a nice lap on those tyres, and we're up to pace, up to speed now, and every car has come through the pits, and we're back into P2 then after everyone has pitted. And still we've got a bit of a gap now to Leclerc after those pit stops, so that's actually helped us out a lot. And but the gap towards Devon Butler is still quite a big one, and if we want to catch him we need to show some good pace. So 7.2 seconds is the gap to Devon Butler, but can we catch it up to Devon Butler? That's the question we'll have to find out in the next 8 laps of this race. But yeah, that's going to be, we're going to have to go a lot quicker than Devon Butler to actually be able to overtake him. But it's going to be, we're going to have to hope for some problems perhaps in this for Devon Butler. But anything could happen. Maybe a safety car or a virtual safety car could happen to Devon, could happen to this race, and that could put us a lot closer to Butler as well. We set a purple sector 1 and a yellow sector, green sector 2, So we're setting personal best and session bests as well, but is that going to be enough to help us get towards Butler? But hopefully, as you can see at the moment, we're getting away from Leclerc. So at the moment, we're sort of into no man's land in this race. But we're going to come around the final corner of this lap and see if we can see what the gap is now, because it was 7.2 seconds, and now the gap is going to be down to, as we look towards the left hand side, we set the fastest lap of the race. It's still 7.2 seconds. So yeah, the gap is not changing at all to Butler at the moment. So we really need to find some more pace out of somewhere, but where are we going to find that pace from? Who knows? We just need some sort of, I don't know, we need a maximum ERS for the entire lap, which is just not possible. But unfortunately, we're just looking there to just change our tyres to the soft tyres, just in case there's an incident. And coincidentally, there's yellow flags down on the yellow straight, on the main straight as well. So one of the Hasses, it looks like, is out. Oh, it's a Renault actually. Carlos Sainz is out this race in his home Grand Prix, so just disappointment for Carlos Sainz. Unfortunately for him, he's out of the race with some issue, but no virtual safety car, no safety car to bunch the pack up. We were thinking about putting on the soft tyres if there was a safety car, which may or may not help us out in the long term. But again, as the gap is only 7.1, so we gained 1/10 from Devon Butler in the last lap, which is just not going to get us towards him at all. So at the moment, we're just going to try and settle for second, pull out a decent gap to Leclerc, and settle for 19 points in this race at the moment, which is pretty much all we can hope for. But with Verstappen having issues, we can definitely hope that we've taken the lead of the driver standings. But as you can see, we're now on the final lap of this race. Nothing has changed at all. We've got a decent gap to Leclerc. Butler's a long way out in front still, so it's pretty much just going to be P2 at the end of this race. It's been a rather dull affair considering how lively the first four races were, but Barcelona living up to its reputation, to be honest, of how exciting the races have been in real life. But there we go, second place it looks like it's going to be for us. I don't know whether Verstappen has recovered at all, but yeah, we're looking very good at the moment in the driver standings, yet to win a race though. So if we're doing quite well, just to not make too many mistakes where people are making mistakes, although we probably should have 2 wins already. But yeah, there we go, pretty much 4 out of 5 races we've been on the podium, or should have been on the podium. But this is going to be our second podium of the season. Butler's going to win for McLaren, so McLaren looking good when they aren't making mistakes as well. So Butler has had a little bit of bad luck here and there so far to start the season, but he wins the race for McLaren. We're going to come around in second place, and Leclerc's going to be on the podium, so Leclerc getting some valuable points again as we cross the line. We're going to be very happy with that one, but McLaren are going to be happy too with another win this season. Norris picked up one already, and Butler picking up another one there, so McLaren definitely going to be a team to watch out for this season. There's Zach Brown looking very happy, although not very well animated there. The graphics doesn't seem to be looking too good on him at all, but there we go, up to our second podium of the season. A British driver 1-2, Leclerc in third place. Another good result for Leclerc in the Ferrari that's not doing too well this season, but yeah, there we go, happy with that. We'll have to look at the standings as well now, to see where Verstappen finished as well, whether he got any points at the end of that. Hamilton only finishing 7th though. Verstappen just missing out on points, so disappointment for Verstappen. Hamilton getting just 6 points there, and Bottas getting 8. So Mercedes off the pace at the moment. So there we go. Alex Albon getting driver of the day. Toro Rosso getting some decent points as well. And we take over the lead by 9 points in the standings ahead of Verstappen, ahead of Butler, who's up to 3rd now. Leclerc still in 4th, and Norris in 5th. So yeah, there we go. Norris again not really looking too sharp at the moment as well. But yeah, we're going to have to watch out for Butler, I think, and Verstappen. They're going to be our main 2 rivals this season, I think, and maybe Hamilton as well. I don't think Leclerc will be able to fight for this title, unless Ferrari improve their car. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this today. It wasn't the most exciting race, nor the most exciting commentary either, but yeah, stay safe everyone at the moment, and enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you very soon for the Monaco Grand Prix.